School is somewhere where you should be able to go and feel safe. Somewhere we should be able to learn, grow freely with the aid of our teachers and our peers. Unfortunately, this is not always the case. Many public school systems have turned into babysitting grounds instead of educational institutions. Many are lacking in providing even some of the basic needs for our children, including safety, examples of good moral conduct, and basic educational truths. In the public school system, by the time I was in the 3rd grade, I knew a slew of vulgar language, some I had learned from the teachers. By 6th grade, I knew more about the inappropriate aspects of sex thanks to the kid on the bus next to me and the school locker room than I should have. By the end of 9th grade, I was the weird kid who stayed home on the weekends and hung out with my family instead of going to English study parties where alcohol was the main beverage, but because of teacher supervision, it was considered safe. My sophomore year began and ended with friends who were sleeping around, pregnant, or in jail because of choices that they made while ditching school. During my junior year, a new boy at school was beaten and hospitalized with permanent brain damage for helping a girl with her books to the bus. Her boyfriend and buddies jumped the boy before he got to his own bus, and he never made it home, almost never made it home. Blood stained the sidewalk as kids watched and cheered on the abuse. My senior year homecoming was accompanied with a gunfight and a teacher affair and multiple police escorts to my car after sports practices in order to keep me safe, since a gunfight was going down between kids ages 11 to 19, many of which were my fellow classmates. While people scoff and roll their eyes at stories like mine, things like this are a reality, and chances are, whether you believe them or not, your children are living at least some of these stories, whether it be language, pregnancy, alcohol, or violence. I went to good schools. I went to rough schools. Both had dangerous consequences. Elder Faust, a member of the first presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, warns, when parents try to teach their children to avoid danger, it is no answer for parents to say to their children, we are more experienced and wise in the ways of the world, and we can get closer to the edge of the cliff than you. Parental hypocrisy can make children cynical and unbelieving of what they are taught in the home. For instance, when parents attend movies, they forbid their children to see. Parental credibility is diminished. If children are expected to be honest, parents are expected to be honest. If children are expected to be virtuous, parents must be virtuous. And if you expect your children to be honorable, then you must be honorable. If our children do not see us throughout the course of the day, then who is the example that they were following? Is it their English teacher who requires book projects on group orgies, drugs, or murder in the communities? Is it their track coach who speaks of her wild weekends and need for a pleasure-filled life? Or their history teacher who twists historical content and falsifies the truths of the nation's past? Hopefully not. It needs to be someone who they can look up to in all aspects. If we are not being the example within the walls of our own home, then how can we ask our children to be what we think and believe that they can be? If they do not see us daily making learning a priority, how can we ask them to do so themselves? What are our options to help our children? Because of my parents' active role in my education and teachings at a young age, by the age of 12, I knew the importance of education in my life, homemaking skills, and social skills. I was a part of presidencies within the church throughout my teen years, captains of my club and high school sports teams because of my hard work and dedication, which I learned as an example through daily teachings in my own home and from my family members. I went to church on Sunday because I understood the importance of having God in my life, and completed schoolwork because I didn't want to live like all the other kids did now or ever. In college, I was on numerous leadership committees and participated in state movements because I understood the importance of having a voice and being involved. There's a stark contrast to what I learned and experienced at home in the few short hours I was there each day versus in the public school system where I was for over 8 hours a day. One of the most undermined but successful alternatives to the public school system is the homeschool program. Many parents choose to homeschool for different reasons: religious views, disabilities, below grade level school performance, bullying, poor school reviews, or high teacher-student ratios. Whatever the reason, there are numerous resources to help you begin. Build curriculum, gain support, find workshops, and so much more. Homeschool does not provide a shelter from the world, but a loving and guided scope in which to learn of the world. In homeschool, children and their parents learn from one another. Parents have the opportunity to help their children explore and find avenues of learning that public school systems will never be able to offer, such as workshops, interaction with state legislation workers and other law officials, access to museums, art exhibits, and more. Homeschool is a common misdemeanor because homeschool education is a home-based curriculum with a great deal of education, but a great deal of the education is outsourced to other resources. You are not stuck at home. You are not confined to a classroom. Children are learning from various individuals or at various venues and interact with others daily. While a common concern with homeschool programs is the impact of socialization on children, which was a strong argument even 10 years ago, homeschool children are interactive in public society today. Today's homeschool is an extensive social network where children of different families and communities are combining to engage in numerous activities and workshop courses which allow for the development of social skills equal to that of public school systems and beyond. Homeschool students have the opportunity to participate in various public and school courses and activities including electives, clubs, and athletics if desired. There are no longer aspects of a public school student's life that the homeschool students do not have the opportunity to participate in if desired. Homeschool gives children the freedom to excel in their personal areas of interest while fulfilling and succeeding the standards set by the government. It reaches beyond the bounds of educational learning and spans all scopes of life. When children and parents work alongside one another to achieve the greatest success, potentials are tapped and abilities explode. According to the Facts for Life and Child Development and Early Learning Center, a close relationship between the child and the caregiver is the best way to nourish a child's growing brain. When a caregiver plays with and sings, speaks, reads, and tells stories to a child and nurtures her or him with healthy food, love, and affection, the child's brain grows. Being healthy, interacting with caregivers, and living in a safe and clean environment can make a big difference in a child's growth and development and future potential. Close parental relationships is crucial for the child's development throughout their whole lives. Their love and devotion we give them is what helps aid them into the young women or young man that will either be an asset or a burden to society. We must lead the way by setting the examples in all aspects, socially, physically, emotionally, and morally. James E. Faust explains, truths must be taught in the home. They cannot be taught in the public schools, nor will they be fostered by the government or by society. The most effective teachings take place in the home. Parenting effectively can no longer not be an option for anyone. The problems children and their parents deal with inside and outside of school every day are growing, said the director of Parents United for Responsible Education. Educating parents about how the school system works and welcoming them to get involved may also help our children. With the public school system lacking, homeschool provides a solution. It gives them a chance. It gives our children a chance to be a stronger generation, a generation that will be better than ours, a generation that is more prepared, and a generation that will change the world.